From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas out there. And the weather is still serious and active. We have a first alert weather day for today, up to 10 inches of snow for mountain passes. That would be from this morning through tomorrow afternoon. Low elevation snow will be possible for today and tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to be much. And then we are dealing with some patchy freezing fog out there. So again, just to reiterate, first alert weather day for mountain passes from this morning through tomorrow afternoon. Okay, the fog very thick all throughout Pendleton, Hermiston, the Tri-Cities, and into the Kittitas Valley. And this would be freezing fog in a lot of instances. So of course, take it slow out there because the visibilities will be bad and the roadways could be a little bit slick. Wind gusts starting to pick up for the Blues. It will turn gusty for today, especially for tonight. And then those temperatures for this morning down into the 30s, really across the NAP. We are seeing some 20s up in the Cascades, but we're going to be watching very closely for where these temperatures get down to 32 degrees because that's where roadways could be slick. Okay, already seeing some rainfall right on top, situated right on top of the Tri-Cities for this morning. Could see some snow mixing in before 8 a.m. Again, I'm not thinking that we're going to see a ton in the way of accumulations and then drying out as the day progresses. So for today, 30s and 40s for lower elevations. There will be that chance for the mix in for a mix in the valleys and for the basin. I'll have a lot more to say about the freezing fog coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, 3 people are dead after a car crash in Walla Walla. Investigators saying the driver was possibly under the influence. What we know about the incident so far.
And Washington is one of just 9 states without an income tax, but Governor Bob Ferguson is proposing that should change for the wealthy. Details straight ahead.
And Christmas may be over, but that doesn't mean you should neglect your Christmas tree if you still have it up. We have what firefighters want you to know coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jada Elliott. It is Friday, December 26th. Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas yesterday.
Did you have a good Christmas?
We did, yes.
Anything fun?
Everything
fun, yeah.
Everything
fun.
Even
the day you just wake up and you're just in the spirit.
Yes, woke up very early, of course, with the kids. Or I should say they woke up very early and woke us up, as it should be on Christmas morning. So
and it was
fun.
Chilly outside, no white Christmas, but no. I mean, hopefully that'll change for at least the new year. We'll check in with Josh later to see about that, but we do want to start your top stories off. Starting off with a follow-up on the deadly crash that happened last night on Highway 12 in Walla Walla County.
Yeah, Washington State Patrol have confirmed with us this morning that 3 people died in that crash. Authorities say a 22-year-old man was going west on State Route 12. It happened around 5:15. He went off the road, hit the guardrail, overcorrected, and then drove into the eastbound lanes, which caused him to hit another car head-on. That car was being driven by a 34-year-old man. He and his 27-year-old passenger, who's been identified as Nashlia Bustamante, passed away at the scene. A 6-month-old baby boy was taken to the hospital from that scene and later passed away from his injuries as well. All 3 of them were from Moses Lake.
Now, authorities say the other driver was also taken to the hospital, but at this time, WSP does not know if drugs or alcohol were a factor in the crash. Also, the reason for the driver going off the road is still under investigation, but we'll update you once we know more.
And in a crime alert this morning, 1 person is dead after being hit by a car while trying to cross the street in Yakima. This crash happened Wednesday. The call for help came in around 6:30 at the intersection of South 1st Street and South 6th Street. Officers say a man was crossing 1st Street and walking east when he was hit by a 50-year-old female driver headed north. The man, who has not yet been identified, passed away at the scene. After a preliminary investigation, officers said there was evidence that the driver was under the influence, and that woman was arrested on suspicion of vehicular homicide. She was taken to the Yakima County Jail. YPD asking if anyone has information about this crash to contact them.
5:04 now in state legislature news. Washington is one of just 9 states without an income tax, but Governor Bob Ferguson is proposing that should change for some wealthy Washingtonians. Apple Valley News Now's Caleb Stipkovitz has more on this new proposal and why the tax most likely won't affect you if approved.
If Washington State had an extra $3 billion each year, what would you do with it? It's a question that Governor Bob Ferguson says could be answered by 2029. Governor Ferguson calls it the millionaire tax because if put in place, it will start taxing the income of anyone who makes over $1 million each year by 9.9%, which makes up about 0.5% of Washingtonians. So it most likely won't take more money out of your wallet. But Governor Ferguson says it could instead put some back in.
In my view, we must use some of the gains from the millionaire's tax back to working families. And one way to do that is by increasing the eligibility for the working families tax credit and increasing the amount that goes out from the working families tax credit.
The working family tax credit currently gives a maximum rebate of around $1,300 to families with a yearly income under $66,000. And Governor Ferguson says he would plan to put some of the $3 billion a year the tax would bring in towards improving the program. The governor also says he wants to invest more into K-12 education and reduce sales tax on essential items, as well as provide Washington's small business owners some tax relief.
In my view, we should not require small businesses to pay B&O taxes until they make $1 million in revenue each year. We can achieve this tax reduction for small businesses using approximately $1 billion gained from the millionaire's tax.
Critics of the governor's proposal say the millionaire's tax could face legal challenges in the Washington State Supreme Court. And they worry it could lead to overspending issues, especially as the state builds back from a $2 billion budget deficit. Critics also say they are worried an income tax could get expanded to people who make less each year, something the governor is insistent won't happen. Governor Ferguson says that the future of the state budget does not rely on the tax passing. Reporting from Washington State, Caleb Sivkovitz, Apple Valley News Now.
And lawmakers will start discussing the millionaire's tax at next month's legislative session, and it'll most likely need an amendment to the state constitution to pass.
5:06 and talking local living now. Christmas, of course, is over, but the Kennewick Fire Department has an important reminder when it comes to your Christmas trees.
Now, many of us can keep it up for a while, so if you're one of those people, officials are urging you to make sure it stays fresh and well watered to prevent this from drying out.
Yeah, it's crucial to double check that there are no sources of ignition nearby. Officials recommend creating about a 3-foot safety zone around your tree to keep it away from any flames or heat sources, and also avoid using candles or any other sources of fire that could be near your tree.
With Christmas trees, the needles will start to indicate that they're drying out. Obviously, when they start falling off of the tree, that's a good indication that either one, you need to re-water the tree, or two, maybe it's about time to properly dispose of the tree.
And KFD encourages you to contact your waste, garbage, and recycling provider to learn about the options they offer for disposal. And keep it here, because coming up next, we're looking back at all the top stories from this year. And it was a year full of news. We're talking a familiar face returning to the White House, and also floods and fires that changed some cities forever. That full recap is coming up in your national news.
And giving you a live look outside this morning from right here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Waking up to some rain and wet roadways. What else can you expect as you head into the weekend? Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to let you know after the break.
It's a great time to buy, great time for traditions.
Like loading up a Ford SUV and going to Grandma's house. Hitting the slopes in a built wild Bronco.
Or making the big delivery with Ford F-Series.
Does it come in red?
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, but thanks to Skyrizi and clearer skin, I'm all in. With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
With Skyrizi, nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Everyone's gearing up for the holidays. The best friend.
So happy together.
And the first timer. The neighborhood hero. And the out-of-towners. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Red Tag. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on this Silverado with over $7,900 total value. Plus, Costco executive members can get a $12.50 members-only incentive.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
It's a great time to buy, great time for traditions.
Like loading up a Ford SUV and going to Grandma's house. Hitting the slopes in a built wild Bronco.
Or making the big delivery with Ford F-Series.
Does it come in red?
The party's just getting started.
New Year's Rockin' Eve is turning up live with performances by Mariah Carey, Post Malone, the legendary Diana Ross, and more. New Year's Rockin' Eve live December 31st on ABC.
A special place on the scenic Clark Fork River. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Here's a current look at road conditions, and where we see green or nothing, that's good. Where we see pink, red, or blue, that's bad. And so it looks like we're starting to get some slightly icier conditions on some of those roads in the Yakima Valley and icier snowy for the roads in the Kittitas Valley. Of course, we're seeing some snowy conditions up in the Cascades. We'll watch very closely this pink color that is trying to encroach in on the lower Columbia Basin. So just please take it slow out there on the roadways this morning, from the foothills to the mountains to the valleys to the basin. Okay, multiple reasons to take it slow on the roadways for this morning, not just because the roads could be a little bit slick from freezing rain or snow, but also because of freezing fog. Some very dense freezing fog towards Pendleton, but also we've seen some in the lower Columbia Basin and for the Kittitas and the Yakima Valley. So in those areas, take it slow on the roadways. We're thinking most of this is probably going to lift by 9 a.m., but in the Kittitas Valley, that could be a little bit closer to lunchtime. Something else that we're tracking, wind gusts for tonight, only between 25 to 35 miles per hour for tonight. See, they're already starting to pick up for the Blue Mountains, up around 25 to 30 miles per hour. But we put this in motion with Futurecast gusts, and you can see that they'll pick up throughout the day. And it's really going to be this evening. The nightcap is when we're going to have the strongest winds, especially for the foothills and for the mountains. And of course, you can see hour by hour wind gusts and rain chances and snow chances for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Just a summation of what we'll see tonight, 25 to 35 mile per hour gusts. All right, we pivot to the snow, and we'll do that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, in your national headlines this morning, we're looking back at all the top stories from this year, and it was a year full of news. We saw a familiar face return to the White House, and also fires and floods that forever changed cities and communities across our country.
We also saw a new pope get chosen, and 2 American astronauts finally made it home after being stranded for way longer than expected. CNN's Michelle Yoshida has the full year in review.
2025 began with back-to-back tragedies. New Year's celebrations turned deadly in New Orleans. A terror attack shutting down the city's famed Bourbon Street. Just days later,
we drove up and I just kept saying, my home, my home.
Deadly and destructive fires tear across Los Angeles, destroying thousands of homes.
We wanted to see for ourselves what the damage was, but it's gone. It's gone. It's a total loss.
Heartbreak in Texas. Young girls attending summer camp among the more than 130 people who lost their lives in catastrophic flooding.
Please pray for our community.
And tragedy in our nation's capital. A passenger jet colliding with a U.S. Army helicopter, the deadliest U.S. plane crash in nearly 2 decades.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Donald Trump returned to the White House. Job and spending cuts, tariffs, and immigration enforcement and raids becoming political and social flashpoints. Court battles, protests, and marches playing out across the country. The president claiming there was widespread crime, ordering National Guard troops to several U.S. cities, leading to clashes with protesters.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
A White House shouting match as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, President Trump, and others met about Russia's invasion into Ukraine. Months later, a red carpet welcome for Russian President Vladimir Putin landing on American soil. But the high-stakes summit in Alaska did not end with a deal to end the Russia-Ukraine war. 2 years after Hamas attacked Israel, a ceasefire agreement reached. The last living Israeli hostages held by Hamas released in exchange for the release of Palestinian prisoners and detainees. In October and November, we saw the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, fights over health care dividing Congress, the 43-day saga ending with a deal to reopen through January. 6 years after his death, convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in the spotlight. A twists and turns saga from the White House to Capitol Hill, as survivors pushed for release of the so-called Epstein files.
I know everybody sees us today as grown adults, but we are fighting for the children that were abandoned and left behind in the reckoning.
We're not counting gang violence.
The assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk stunned the country.
It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals.
Comedian Jimmy Kimmel, following criticism and political pressure over comments related to Kirk's death, taken off air. Free speech protests ensued before Kimmel eventually returned to hosting his late-night show the following week. And our nation said goodbye to political pillars. The 39th President Jimmy Carter honored. And Dick Cheney, vice president under George W. Bush, also remembered. Tributes poured in across the globe after the death of Pope Francis. White smoke revealing the first Latin American pontiff would be replaced by the first American Pope, Leo XIV, a Chicago White Sox fan turned leader of the Catholic Church. A brazen heist at the world's most visited museum, thieves robbing the Louvre of jewels estimated to be worth more than $100 million. And after what was supposed to be a short mission to space stretched into more than 9 months, NASA astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore finally returned home.
Thank you to a nation that got involved in all of this. It makes it special, not just for us, but for all, I think our nation as a whole.
Pretty honored and humbled by the fact of when we came home, like, wow, there are a lot of people who are interested.
I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
What a year
much that happened.
I know, and I feel like there was even more than that, you know?
Yeah.
Wild. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, breaking down your first alert forecast coming up after the break as we give you that live look outside from right here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick.
It's our annual year-end inventory closeout sale at Mattress Depot USA.
This is your best opportunity of the year to save hundreds.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Now is the best time to shop mattresses at Macy's. We make it easy with our lowest prices of the season on so many top brands, our 120-day comfort trial, and a Macy's gift card up to $300. It's Macy's After Christmas Sale, going on now.
The holiday season is in full swing at Shelby's Floral. Shelby's invites you to celebrate the joys of Christmas. Step into a wondrous world filled with the magic of the holiday season. Discover beautiful holiday decor, seasonal centerpieces, and gifts that capture the spirit of giving. Let Shelby's inspire you with a beautiful custom arrangement to complement your seasonal style. At Shelby's, we can bring your home to life with the joys of Christmas. Celebrating 50 years of holiday giving. Come visit Shelby's Floral on Clearwater in Kennewick.
Is it cold outside? Chuck here from Pizza Speedway in Kennewick. Swing by and grab hot pizza in minutes. Right now, buy one pizza, get one free of equal or lesser value. Limit one per customer. With this deal, you can get 2 large pizzas for $17 plus tax. Call ahead or walk in to order. Then cruise the drive-thru or step inside to pick up. Just mention this ad for the discount. Cozy up with a slice and a flavored energy drink or soda infusion. Visit us today at 525 North Edison in Kennewick. Pizza Speedway. Dinner in a flash.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, we want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our patients. It's been a pleasure to serve you and to improve your smiles. So, from all of us to you and yours, happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas.
Is your body sending you an SOS? If you have high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes,
Your kidneys could be warning you about increased risks, like heart attack or stroke. Don't miss the hidden signal. Ask your doctor about a UACR urine test.
An affordable, adjustable bed from Mattress Depot USA will help you sleep better.
And help alleviate aches and pains, sleep apnea, and snoring.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a First Alert weather day from this morning through tomorrow afternoon, specifically for mountain passes, could get upwards of 10 inches of snow. And it's because this storm system up in British Columbia is still seeing impacts from this. And we'll go ahead and time it out with Futurecast here in just a second. But some moderate to heavy rainfall on top of the Tri-Cities this morning, and sometimes heavier rainfall can sink down snow levels. So it looks like there is a little bit of a mix starting to formulate right now in the Tri-Cities. We'll see if that eventually transitions to snow. Okay, we put this in motion with Futurecast radar. Looks like this band is going to start to move into the foothills later this morning, but another round up in the Cascades around lunchtime, and then looking pretty widespread, but also splotchy, if that makes any sense, about 5 p.m. for tonight. And then into the overnight hours, more rounds of snow for the mountains, but we could see some snow for lower elevations. We'll talk about that more in a second. And then by lunchtime for tomorrow, starting to trend much, much drier. And I'm thinking after 4 p.m. tomorrow, the drama should be done, even for the mountain passes. Okay, so here's some of the snowfall totals we are expecting from this morning through 4 p.m. on Saturday. Again, up around 10 inches of snow for some of our Cascade passes, and then 5 to 10 inches of snow for our Blue Mountain passes. But look at lower elevations, like 0.6 inches of snow for Sunnyside, 0.2 inches for Ellensburg, 0.3 for Connell, 0.1 for Walla Walla. So we're not ruling out accumulating snowfall for lower elevations. It just doesn't look like it's going to be over an inch. So this half hour, we're going to focus in on the valleys. The next half hour, we'll talk about the foothills. But today in Ellensburg, you see in general 10 to 30% chances of not just precip, but this would be freezing rain, mostly snow showers for today. And then in the Yakima Valley, a chance of freezing rain this morning. Looks like for the rest of the day, low in rain chances, and it's probably just going to stay as rain. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A wintry mix possible this morning before 8 a.m. and then dry for Saturday through Wednesday. In Yakima, also maybe seeing some snow mixing in this morning before 8, but like I just showed you, those chances, it looks like freezing rain is going to be the more likely mode of precip. Then in Ellensburg, chances for less than an inch of snow today, then dry and cold forecast after that. And for Hermiston, probably just rain today, maybe a leftover shower for Saturday, dry by Sunday. And finally, for Walla Walla, rain likely today, snow chances trending up for tonight and tomorrow, then turning drier and colder. Now you're taking a live look at that, like a slice of cloud right over the Yakima Valley. But this view coming courtesy of Bimart. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
We can't help what you do before you go to bed, but we can make sure the sleep is solid once you finally get there.
And during the New Year's super sale at Denver Mattress, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Queen for only $299.99, or take up to $500 off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. And score 60 months, no interest, and free shipping.
Here's to 365 nights of better sleep. Happy New Year from Denver Mattress.
Twist the month before gifting. Garage piled high. Houses were bursting. Time to let clutter fly. The Habitat Store wish list is merry and clear. Our shelves need your treasures as holidays near. Make room for the new by sharing the old. Clean, sell-ready items, tidy and bold. We turn good tidings to homes built with grace for local families to find a safe place. Drop off in Richland, all items lovely and bright. Or call for free pickup and fill our wish list tonight.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Some mornings, I get a little extra help. Memories are made in the kitchen. Find the right appliance to make more of them at Fred's.
At Fred's Appliance, all Bosch appliances are on sale. Save up to $300 on select Bosch dishwashers. Swing by Fred's Appliance today. We sell appliances, only appliances.
From our family at Scott Smith State Farm, serving the Tri-Cities for over 15 years with our 2 locations in Kennewick and 1 in Yakima. We wish you joy, peace, and prosperity this holiday season. Merry Christmas from all of us at Scott Smith State Farm.
T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
A special place on the scenic Clark Fork River. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, we're looking back at the biggest headlines from 2025.
Everything from both the big and small screens to the concert stage to stars in the courtroom.
David Daniel has our Hollywood Year in Review.
The year began with a coronation and a controversy. Demi Moore drew a standing ovation at the Golden Globes as the Substance star won her first ever major acting award. Emilia Perez won 4 Globes and would go on to win 2 Oscars. But in between, star Carla Sofia Gascon, the first openly transgender actress nominated for an Oscar in an acting category, drew controversy for past social media posts criticizing Muslim culture and George Floyd.
3 carrots.
What about 4? Oscar night belonged to Anora, which took home 5 trophies, including Best Picture. Writer-director Sean Baker became just the second person to win 4 Oscars in one night. The first, Walt Disney. Taylor Swift's massively successful Eras Tour wrapped up at the end of 2024, but she had plenty more for her fans in 2025. She dropped The Life of a Showgirl, written while on that tour, and Travis Kelce dropped to one knee as her football player boyfriend proposed. The now engaged performer ended the year setting Billboard records with Showgirl and releasing a concert film and a docuseries about the Eras Tour.
16 carriages driving away.
Beyonce had a memorable year as well. Billboard says her Cowboy Carter tour was the shortest tour ever to gross more than $400 million and the highest grossing country music concert tour ever. She became the first black woman to win the Grammy for Best Country Album, and she finally won the Album of the Year Grammy.
Time to cut you down to size.
He's not exactly your average kid.
The biggest movie of 2025 didn't come from Hollywood. The animated adventure Ne Zha 2 made more than $1.9 billion, nearly all of that in China. In Hollywood, megabuck mergers and acquisitions further changed the showbiz landscape. Skydance Media took over Paramount Global in an $8 billion deal. Amazon MGM Studios took creative control of the James Bond franchise. After 2 years, Disney completed a $9 billion deal to buy out NBC Universal's stake in Hulu. And in December, Netflix announced a deal to acquire Warner Brothers, including HBO and HBO Max, followed by a hostile bid by Skydance Paramount for all of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Good evening, and welcome to the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live marked half a century of late-night laughs, with 16-time SNL host Steve Martin delivering the monologue. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban split after just under 20 years of marriage. The Oscar-winning actress filed for divorce from the Grammy-winning country singer in September. They married in 2006 and have 2 teenage daughters.
We all have an idea of what love can be.
2024's It Ends With Us led to dueling lawsuits in 2025. In January, Justin Baldoni, the film's director and co-star, countersued star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds after Lively filed a civil rights complaint complaint accusing Baldoni of sexually harassing her during filming and then retaliating against her when she spoke up. Baldoni denied the accusations and claimed the couple had hijacked the film and tried to, quote, destroy him and his career. In June, a judge dismissed Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit. Lively's lawsuit is scheduled for trial in May 2026.
People started, getting what we were doing.
Hollywood was shocked as well as saddened by several celebrity deaths this year. Writer, director, actor, and activist Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were killed at their Los Angeles home. Police arrested their son, Nick Reiner. Rob Reiner was 78. Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner drowned while swimming in Costa Rica. He was 54. Actress Michelle Trachtenberg died at age 39, reportedly of complications from diabetes mellitus. And Oscar winner Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead in their New Mexico home. He was 95. Others we lost in 2025 included singers Ozzy Osbourne and Brian Wilson, actresses Diane Keaton, Lonnie Anderson, June Lockhart, and Diane Ladd, actors Val Kilmer and George Wendt, director David Lynch, and actor, Oscar-winning director, and environmentalist Robert Redford. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
These recaps just have me thinking, wait, that was this year? That was this year?
I know.
So much that happens within a year.
I love a good recap.
Me too.
Memory refresher.
Like, oh my gosh. Forgot about that. Forgot about this.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan, too.
Yeah,
you lost
forgot
him
about
this year,
that.
right? That was this year? Man, tough year.
Yeah, I know, a lot.
Celebrities lost this year, so sad.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Yakima Union Gospel Mission has been helping people experiencing homelessness since 1936. And this week, they've been hard at work preparing meals. We have how one group of volunteers is giving back to the community as a family. We have details coming up in your next half hour. But first, here's your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, changing your Gmail address. Google is easing its limit on one Gmail address per account. It's allowing users in India to create a second address while still giving them access to their old account after they switch to a new one. Timing on global rollout is still unclear. Tow truck operators are using an app called Honk to locate and help stranded Waymos. The Washington Post says operators in LA are being paid $22 to close a door on the driverless cars and up to $80 to tow them. The report calling it one example of jobs changing as automation advances. And finally, a YouTuber says the plane he briefly flew was built with 95% cardboard. After getting a tow from a vehicle, most of the flight was just a few feet above a farm field. It inevitably ended with a crash into some bushes. He was not hurt. Those are your Tech Bites.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I unlatched Bevo's gate while taking a selfie.
Bevo, no! Come back!
Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking Bevo's gate, though, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Hook 'em.
Ah, mornings. Cough? Congestion?
All in one and done with Mucinex Kickstart.
Headache? Better.
Mucinex gives a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Also, try new Kickstart Severe Congestion and Cough.
All aboard, Mother says, and down the hill they fly. They race across the frozen pond. She shoots, she scores, they cry. There's no day like a snow day, a fact you can't deny. Goldfish, the snack that smiles back.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Friday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
It's pouring.
It's pouring. It is so loud.
The roar of the rain picked up in the 30 seconds leading up to this.
It really did.
It's like it knew my weather was about to come out.
There you go.
Waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's doing it just for you.
Let's go ahead and take a look at those big weather stories. Of course, we got that first alert weather day that's in place for our mountain passes. Could have up to 10 inches of snow over the next 36 hours. Could be some low elevation snow for today and tomorrow, probably not more than an inch. And then there is some patchy freezing fog out there. And just to reiterate, the first alert weather day that we have for mountain passes. But Okay, yeah, maybe you can actually hear the roar of the rain from inside our studios in Kennewick, but a very heavy band of rainfall right now from Hermiston stretching right through the Tri-Cities and into southern Franklin County as well. Heavier rainfall sometimes has the tendency to drag down snow levels, so we'll see if we start to get some snow into the mix here, but for now, just by the sound of it, it sounds like it's just rain, at least in Kennewick. Those temperatures right around freezing in the valleys, so that's where we would see the best chances of some icy or snowy roads, and we are seeing a little bit of that in Yakima, more so in the Kittitas Valley. Okay, on to the fog for this morning. I think the rain has broken a lot of it up, but there still are some patches of freezing fog out there. It looks like most of it's probably going to lift by 9 a.m. in the Kittitas Valley. That could be a little bit longer. We're also dealing with winds picking up for today, but especially for tonight. I'll talk about those coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. We start this half hour of news with a crime alert. A driver in Benton County was arrested on suspicion of DUI after crashing into a ditch with 4 kids in the car. When deputies arrived to the scene outside of Prosser, this was near West Old Inland Empire Highway and South Griffin Road, they found the driver and 4 kids, all under the age of 6, still in the car. Breathalyzer tests showed a reading of 0.18, over twice the legal limit. The children were released to family members and the adult was arrested at the scene.
In more crime news, a teenager was shot and killed Tuesday night in Yakima while walking to his grandparents' house. Around 9 p.m., officers found 17-year-old Francisco S. with a gunshot wound near North 20th Avenue and Englewood Drive. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police say he was shot by somebody in a vehicle. Investigators are seeking the public's help. If you have any information, contact Yakima County Crime Stoppers.
The Yakima Union Gospel Mission has been helping people experiencing homelessness since 1936. And this week, they've been hard at work preparing holiday meals. Alyssa Ford, Director of Community Engagement, says the organization will serve 3 meals a day to upwards of 200 people this week. She says that number is part of a normal holiday influx. The meals are prepared by a mixture of staff and volunteers and people in the organization's recovery program. Ford says she appreciates all the help.
I am always amazed by our volunteers and by the people who give to the mission, whether it's their time or their resources. It really means a lot, and I know it touches my heart and the hearts of the people we're serving.
So be sure to stay with us. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, you're going to learn about a group of people who are volunteering as a family.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Seattle hockey fans know the name, but the numbers tell the real story. We have your Kraken player profile of the week, talking sports after the break.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. Think I'll go for a walk outside.
Special Agent Will Trent. Catch me if you can.
Will.
You okay?
I am great.
Don't forget, we give free evaluations and second opinions on injury cases. You might just have some questions. Give us a call and we'll tell you what to bring in.
Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
Welcome to Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar in Kennewick, where every visit feels like a celebration of flavor, friendship, and Northwest hospitality.
As the executive chef, I actually get to work out front a lot, so I'm delivering food to the guests and I'm able to talk to them. And I personally enjoy working our grill and doing the steaks like our ribeyes and our fillets and really great cuts of meat. It's just nice to be able to create something and then see the customer, try it and really enjoy it.
When I see new faces that I haven't seen before, I like going over and talking to them, making sure they have a good time.
Kitchen staff here has me so spoiled. It's hard for me to go out to eat anywhere else because they are fast and efficient, and I think the presentation is beautiful. I think that we have servers that really care about their job. I can see how much they care about their tables and their customers and making sure that everybody leaves happy.
The time you're here spent with us, we're going to make you laugh, have a great time, and make you part of the family. A popular drink for sure is going to be the lemon drop, which comes in different flavors such as huckleberry, strawberry, raspberry, or a classic. But my job in particular is to make sure guests are happy and smile.
From handcrafted cocktails to chef-inspired dishes, every detail at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar is designed for one thing, making you feel right at home. Join us at Columbia Center Mall in Kennewick, where every day is a celebration of great food, great drinks, and great company.
To me, Harlem is home. But home is also your body.
Last one, everyone.
I asked myself, why doesn't Pilates exist in Harlem? So I started my own studio. Getting a brick and mortar in New York is not easy. Chase Inc. has supported us from Studio 1 to Studio 3.
When you start small, you need some big help, and Chase Inc. was that for me.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Don't forget, we give free evaluations and second opinions on injury cases. You might just have some questions. Give us a call and we'll tell you what to bring in.
Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
The party's just getting started. New Year's Rockin' Eve is turning up live with performances by Mariah Carey, Post Malone, the legendary Diana Ross, and more. New Year's Rockin' Eve live December 31st on ABC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. All right, let's have an update on some climate numbers. First of all, we start off with the rainfall numbers we've been tracking since October 1st. On this side of the graphic, here are the rainfall numbers we've actually seen. On this side of the graphic, here's what we would typically see during this stretch. And here is the difference. And we have rainfall surpluses across the map right now. Very impressive surpluses in particular for Ellensburg, Yakima, the Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and Pendleton. Not so much in Walla Walla, but that's still technically a surplus. Okay, now let's look bigger picture. If you tallied up all the water that we have right now in the Yakima Basin, if you compared it to what we typically have for this time of the year, we have 38% more water in our reservoirs than we typically would at this juncture. And remember, the Washington State Department of Ecology says that a drought emergency is when a basin has 25% less water than normal. So we're exceeding that by about 60 percentage points or something. So we have a very good cushion right now. But we could lose some of that progress based on the fact that our snowpack is not looking great right now, especially in the Cascades. Now, these numbers are looking a little bit better than they did last week, and these numbers will continue to trend in the right direction just because we have more snowfall in the forecast for the Cascades. But we want to see these numbers either breaking even or, of course, we want to see a snowpack surplus. Okay, we go from climate back to weather now, as we are dealing with wind gusts not only for today but for tonight. So for this morning, gusts already out of the south and west up around 25 to 30 miles per hour for our Blue Mountain passes. And we'll put this into motion with futurecast wind gusts. And as we put this into motion, you'll see that, yeah, the winds are going to pick up as we head deeper and deeper into the day. The gusts are mostly, well, at least they're going to start off out of the south and west. Eventually, they'll pivot more so out of the north and west, or due west at the very least. But it's going to be the nightcap. That's when we're going to see the strongest wind gusts, especially for the foothills and for the mountains. And then tomorrow could end up being a breezy day as well. But I think overall, if you really want to split hairs, Friday night is probably going to feature some stronger wind gusts as opposed to Saturday during the day. And of course, you can see hour by hour wind gusts yourself by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert weather app, free in the App Store or on Google Play. That interactive radar feature will come in quite handy for today as well, especially with some of those scattered showers on the map. And just to sort of give you a summation of the wind gusts we'll see for tonight, anywhere between 25 to 35 miles per hour, with the strongest gusts being for the Cascades, Snoqualmie Pass and White Pass, and for the Blue Foothills and all the passes for the Blue Mountains. Now let's take a look at next week as, well, we're going to start to feel a little bit colder. For today, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, but that drop off from Friday to Sunday, and our high temperatures are going to have a hard time making it out of the mid-30s for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the Tri-Cities, which is only about 5 degrees cooler than normal for this time of the year. That means those overnight lows are going to be pretty brisk as well, down into the low 20s, eventually getting some relief, if you want to call it that, with mid to upper 20s by next Wednesday and Thursday night. All right, from lower elevations up to the mountains, we'll talk about all the snowfall that's on the way coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Talking sports now, Seattle hockey fans know the name, but the numbers tell the real story.
That's right. Expansion draft pick Jared McCann has turned Climate Pledge Arena into a personal highlight reel. Jake Gable has a look at the man leading the charge for the Kraken.
The Kraken Player Profile, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
When the Seattle Kraken selected Jared McCann in the 2021 expansion draft, they saw a versatile player who just needed the right opportunity. They didn't have to wait long. McCann scored the second goal in franchise history, setting the tone for what would become a career-defining era. In just 3 seasons, McCann has rewritten the Kraken record books. He became the franchise's first 40-goal scorer and has led the team in points for 4 straight seasons. Whether it's a laser from the circle or a gritty play in the defensive zone, McCann has proved to be an elite two-way threat the front office gambled on. But his impact goes beyond the stat sheet. As the first player in team history to sign a long-term extension, he's become a bridge between the inaugural roster and the future. Now a veteran leader and a prime candidate for the next team captain, he's the steady hand that the deep relies on. From an expansion draft question mark to a 70-point powerhouse, Jared McCann isn't just playing for Seattle. He's helping define what it means to be a Kraken. Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
Fun to watch on the ice there. McCann remains the primary offensive threat as Seattle pushes for another deep playoff run.
The quest for the Cup continues this Sunday at 5 p.m. on Apple Valley News Now.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, your morning sprint. That is coming up after the break. Everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning, and giving you a live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. And you see that layer of cloud just sitting over the valley there.
It's kind of cool looking.
It's kind of
like
cool.
Haunting and creepy.
I know.
I like it.
You would. Chief Meteorologist Josh Culver. He's going to be back with what Jessica thinks is a creepy little forecast that she likes.
Pretty cool.
So you only check it twice?
Nissan tests every model thousands of times.
No wonder we're J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality.
Hurry, holiday savings end January 5th at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on select SUVs for well-qualified buyers.
It's that time again.
It's our annual year-end inventory closeout sale at Mattress Depot USA.
This is your best opportunity of the year to save hundreds on brand name mattress sets.
All remaining models from last year's inventory are on sale.
Here's your chance to get a comfortable, great night's sleep at up to 60% off.
Don't hesitate, or else you'll have to wait another year to take advantage of these incredible savings.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Attention viewers, Good News Today, produced by Richland Lutheran Church, airing Sundays at 9 a.m., will be airing this Saturday at 5:30 a.m. Good News Today will resume its regularly scheduled time on Sunday, January 4th at 9 a.m.
Macy's Great Gift Sale is the best place for last-minute gifts, like up to 65% off fine jewelry and up to half off fragrances and cashmere. Come in, experience the holidays, and walk out with everything on your list at Macy's Great Gift Sale. Ends Wednesday.
Sometimes my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis gets in my way. But thanks to Skyrizi, I'm free to bare my skin.
Things are getting clearer. I feel free to bare my skin. Yeah, that's on me. Nothing is everything.
With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin. And many people were 100% plaque-free. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Now's the time. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
So you only check it twice?
Nissan tests every model thousands of times.
No wonder we're J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality.
Hurry, holiday savings end January 5th at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on select SUVs for well-qualified buyers.
ET and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a First Alert weather day from this morning through tomorrow afternoon because of all the snow that we could see for mountain passes. And this is the culprit right here, this low pressure system that is swerving through British Columbia right now, seeing some impacts from that. And you're hearing the impacts of that right now in the Tri-Cities, some heavy rainfall. And I was checking the official observations at the Pasco Airport. Their precip type is still rain, so wouldn't be too shocked to see some snow mixing in this morning in the Tri-Cities. Not expecting any big time accumulations, but thus far, according to the official report, it's just a very cold rainfall. Let's put this into motion with Futurecast radar. This band in particular going to slide over to the foothills of the mountains, the Blues, by 8 a.m. But here's another round that's going to start to impact the Cascades closer to lunchtime. Seeing some widespread stuff on the map by dinner time, and then by midnight, looks like most of this is concentrated for the mountains and the foothills. And then into Saturday, I think in general, winding the action down throughout the day on Saturday, and then after 4 p.m., I think we'll be in the clear even for our mountain passes. So let's go ahead and show you some of the snowfall totals we're expecting from this morning through tomorrow afternoon. 4 to 9 inches of snow for our primary Cascade passes, 5 to 10 inches of snow for our primary Blue Mountain passes, and even some lower elevations seeing some trace amounts. Walla Walla, Sunnyside, Ellensburg, Moses Lake, Ritzville, Connell. Would not be shocked to see some accumulations, but we're thinking it's probably going to be less than a half an inch in most of those lower elevation locations. Speaking of, let's focus in on the foothills this half hour. The next half hour will bounce back to the valleys. But for today, mostly as rain in Pendleton. Could maybe start to see some snow mixing in by 10 p.m. And then for tomorrow, snow showers going to be possible before 10 a.m. After that, looking much drier. That's Pendleton. Now Walla Walla. For today, looks like it's mostly going to be rainfall up until about 7 p.m., 8 p.m. That's when some snow could start to mix in. And then for tomorrow, looks like we could have a mix or snow showers before 10 a.m. And then as the moisture is exiting and that cold air is trying to catch up, maybe a little bout of freezing rain into the very late afternoon. So very quickly, 7-day forecast. Tri-Cities, a winter mix possible this morning before 8 a.m. Dry for Saturday through Wednesday. In Yakima, also maybe seeing some snow mixing in this morning before 8. In Ellensburg, chances for less than an inch of snow today, then a dry and cold forecast. For Hermiston, probably just rain today, maybe a leftover shower for Saturday, dry by Sunday. And finally for Walla Walla, rain likely today, snow chances trending up for tonight, tomorrow, then turning drier and colder.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:51, time for your morning sprint, your 5 o'clock hour, and we start with the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. First up, Washington State Patrol confirming 3 people have passed away in a crash that happened on Highway 12 in Walla Walla. Authorities say a man going west on State Route 12 went off the road, hit a guardrail, overcorrected, and then drove into the eastbound lanes, hitting another car head-on. A man and woman were in that car and passed away at the scene. A 6-month-old baby was also taken to the hospital from that car and passed away later from his injuries. Washington State Patrol right now doesn't know if drugs or alcohol played a factor in the crash, as they are continuing to investigate.
And 1 person is dead after being hit by a car while trying to cross a street in Yakima on Wednesday. This was at 6:30 p.m. at the intersection of South 1st Street and South 6th Street. Officers say there was evidence the driver, a 50-year-old woman, was under the influence. She was arrested and taken to the Yakima County Jail, and YPD is urging anyone with any information to contact them.
And Washington is one of 9 states without an income tax, but Governor Bob Ferguson says it may be time for a change. He is supporting a millionaire's tax, which he says would tax the income of anyone who makes over $1 million a year by 9.9%. Governor Ferguson says that if passed, the tax would start collecting $3 billion each year starting in 2029, and revenue would give extra funding to K-12 education, reduce sales taxes, and increase tax credits for low-income families and small businesses. Lawmakers will start discussing this at next month's legislative session.
Washington State Patrol released details on a memorial service being held for Trooper Tara Marisa Guting, who died in the line of duty. The service will be held on Saturday, December 27th. That's tomorrow at Life Center's Central Campus in Tacoma at 1 p.m. And the service will not include a law enforcement processional and will be focused on family, friends, and colleagues. Trooper Guting was standing outside of her vehicle investigating a crash in Tacoma on Friday when she was hit by another car.
And now that Christmas is over, the Kennewick Fire Department has an important reminder for you when it comes to your Christmas trees. They say if you are leaving it up, make sure it stays fresh and well watered to prevent it from drying out. Also double check that there are no sources of ignition nearby. They recommend creating a 3-foot safety zone around your tree to keep it away from any flames or heat sources. Avoid using candles or any other sources of ignition nearby. They say if the needles start falling off the tree, it is a good time to get rid of it. You can contact your waste, garbage, and recycling provider to learn about the options that they offer for a safe disposal.
Now to your national headlines this morning. The death toll from last month's UPS plane crash in Kentucky has now risen to 15. This comes after one victim died from their injuries yesterday. The plane crash happened back on November 4th. The 3 pilots on the jet and 11 people on the ground were killed that day. Now a preliminary report from the NTSB says it was a failure of critical hardware that kept the left engine attached to the plane.
In your business headlines at 5:54, one lucky lottery player in Arkansas is celebrating an extraordinary win. The ticket matched every number in Wednesday night's Powerball drawing, nabbing a jackpot worth $1.8 billion. That's with a B, $1 billion. Last-minute ticket sales made it the second largest U.S. lottery jackpot ever. If the winner chooses the lump sum, they'll walk away with nearly $835 million. Very cool. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
And trending now this morning. So we had been tracking Santa earlier in the week, but apparently so were some cops.
Yeah, Santa can't always use his sleigh with reindeer. Sometimes he needs a car, and even Santa has to follow the rules of the road.
The sheriff's office in Fulton County, Ohio, shared this video of an officer pulling over a vehicle only to discover Mr. and Mrs. Claus. They were caught flying a little too fast.
But the officer decided to let them go with just a friendly reminder to slow down. Now, I wonder if he wasn't dressed at Santa.
If you would have got a ticket?
Yeah.
You never know.
Santa privilege.
You never know. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. After flooding caused closures on Highway 12, a lot of skiers with season passes are unable to utilize them at Stevens Pass, and now they want refunds. Well, we have what the resort is saying and why Washingtonians are upset about it.
Plus, we're taking a look back at all your top stories that made the biggest entertainment headlines in 2025. All those details are coming up in our 6 o'clock hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
We are tracking rain, the potential for lower elevation snow, not much, but much more mountain snow, and winds and colder temperatures on the horizon. So a little bit of everything. I'll have all of that for you coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.